Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and of course, continuing on with Little Mermaid Week. Now, we've come to the first sequel to The Little Mermaid, and a part of the Disney direct-to-DVD sequels. Yeah, that being The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Yes. So, what are the first things I have to say about The Little Mermaid 2? Well, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's disastrous or anything like that. And I understand and I respect those, their opinions on how they feel about The Little Mermaid 2. I understand. And I understand, don't get me wrong, I'm well aware that, it's not the best, Disney sequel, and with those direct-to-DVD sequels, Disney films. I understand. But anyways, read the description, the story, of course. Ariel and Eric are happily married and have been blessed with Melody. The couple are connected on land, but Melody is curious about her mermaid heritage and determined to find out what life is like at sea. However, her trip to find her roots unwittingly involves her in an evil plot against Ariel's father, King Triton. So Ariel must also return to the sea to save her family and friends. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, my good friend Elijah Goring, he told me that The Little Mermaid 2 takes place like 10 years later. Okay, well, I would assume it would probably take 10 years later after, say, what happened at the beginning of the film, because a big celebration happening, and I believe this was where King Triton was meeting his granddaughter for the first time, and everything goes well until a new threat arrives, and that turns out to be Ursula's crazy sister, Morgana, voiced by Pat Carroll. So yeah, she had voiced Ursula and has voiced Ursula's sister, Morgana. And, Pat Carroll, she was so good as Ursula, and you know what? She was good as Morgana, because yeah, Morgana doing the same thing like her sister did, like taking over and ruling the ocean and, possessing, Triton's, Triton. Yeah, King Triton's, Triton. But anyways, and that's when Ariel decides that Melody, she needs to be protected and she can't know anything about merpeople and, about, the Atlantic, Palace and so on. And, King Triton, he is determined to hunt down and defeat Morgana. And, I know people complaining about, say, Ariel in this movie that, why does she have to hide all this from Melody? Well, King Triton, he's doing his very best to hunt down Morgana, so what's the big deal? I don't know. But even when, say, Prince Eric, he told Ariel that one day Melody would have to know all this, and he had a point. Of course, she does. Years later, Melody, now a teenager, and Melody being voiced by Tara Strong. And actually, Tara Strong voicing Melody was one of her favorite voice roles. And the fact that she, grew up watching The Little Mermaid. So, that's nice. And also, King Triton, he had Sebastian, keep an eye on Melody. Okay, how's that gonna help? I don't know. And of course, we all know Sebastian, this, very, nervous, crab with an anxiety, you name it. I think Sebastian, yeah, he's still funny and pretty good in the sequel, so. Also, Morgana's, sidekick, Undertow, he is a shark, yeah, I think so. A type of shark, you can let me know in the comments section what type of shark he is. Undertow being voiced by Clancy Brown, aka the voice of Mr. Krabs. So, that's pretty cool. Like, Clancy Brown does something else, that's animated, that's underwater, you get the joke. So, yeah. And so, yeah, Melody, she even tells her mother and father that, she's feeling that all those, at the palace think that she's weird because she can talk to sea creatures. And I think I could tell when watching this movie, like, is Ariel unaware that Sebastian remained there? And obviously, like, King Triton told Sebastian privately, to keep an eye on Melody and so on. Yeah. And basically, like, Melody, she does discover the necklace, because Melody had the necklace, I believe, like, or I think it was a necklace, I don't know, but like a seashell, like a conch shell, basically. You open it and it reveals, like, Atlantis, the Atlantic Palace, yeah. And, like, basically, I think, like, Ariel and King Triton, they just threw that in the ocean. Melody could never find it and such, but she does. And Melody's supposed to attend to, her birthday party. She is a highness. And at one point, Melody has a dance with this cute boy that, she does find cute at first. And earlier, when Melody was putting on her dress, Sebastian accidentally got caught in the ribbon. On some dresses with ribbons on the back. So, yeah. And, during the dance, well, chaos is unleashed, and, Sebastian, like, causing Chef Louis, once again voiced by Odo himself, Rene. Yeah, causing the cake to be ruined, and, Melody, concerned for Sebastian if, he's okay, and all those, like brats, at the palace, sees that she's talking to Sebastian, she's talking to a crab, and they start laughing, and while that's going on, Chef Louis once again chasing Sebastian. Like, Louis should be aware of Sebastian now and all the sea creatures and the mermaids, right? So, shouldn't they be on good terms? Or is it just that Louis is just lost his temper and just wanted to chase Sebastian, I guess, And speaking of which, most of the original, like, cast of the first film, they do come back reprising their roles. Jodie Benson as Ariel, the late Samuel E. Wright as Sebastian, Pat Carroll, but this time she voices Morgana, as I said. The late Kenneth Mars voicing King Triton, and the late Buddy Hackett voicing Scuttle. And as I said, the late Renee, / Odo, voicing Louis. And I'm pretty sure, what's her face? Yeah, Eddie McClurg, yeah, I think I got that right, voicing Cloretta. Yeah, that waitress, I guess you could say, and, like, setting Louis straight, And yeah, this would be the last time that both Kenneth Mars and Buddy Hackett would voice their characters, King Triton and Scuttle. Yeah. And, it's really strange. Like, no hard feelings, like, nothing against Rob Paulsen, who voices Prince Eric, but the original voice of Prince Eric did not come back for unknown reasons. I mean, he was the voice of the prince in the Cinderella sequels. Why didn't he voice Eric? Who knows? Like, it's unknown. It even says so on IMDb. But anyways, so after what happens at Melody's ruined birthday party, yeah, even when Melody is holding the clamshell and Ariel discovers that she found it, and, Ariel's disappointed in Melody, but, still, like, as I said earlier, like, Ariel really didn't have to hide everything about the mer people and, the ocean and the Atlantic Palace, of Melody. She didn't have to hide that all from Melody, And Melody, she runs off, and this time, yeah, because she wants to go out there and know about the mer people and so on. And even, after Eric told Ariel, as I said, that, one day that Melody would know this, and, they'd have to tell her the truth, they were going to, but they were too late because, well, Melody had run off. And Sebastian, being a wimp as he is, like, telling Ariel and Eric that, she had left. And that's when, yeah, Morgana, because she, hid herself where, King Triton and the Mer people would not find her, even though they were doing their best to locate Morgana. She's hiding in, like, say, the Arctic or something like that, somewhere there. And basically, like, she sends her two, like, stingrays, I want to say, yeah, out to, well, them and Undertow to go fetch Melody to bring her to her, and of course, Morgana tricking Melody and giving Melody, a mermaid tail, and now she has become a mermaid, and even, like, say, Morgana tricking Melody, telling her that, she won't have that much time, to still be a mermaid, and she tricks Melody into telling her to go get King Triton's Triton. And yeah, and at one point, Melody meets up and makes new friends with a penguin named Tip and a walrus. I think a walrus, yeah. Dash. Tip being voiced by Max Casella, and Dash being voiced by the late Stephen Furst. And both Max Casella and Stephen Furst lend their voices in other Disney materials. Max Casella voiced Zini the lemur in Dinosaur. The one lemur that's the ladies' man. Yeah, that's him. And Stephen Furst voicing Booster from Buzz Lightyear Star Command. Yeah, I had to, just... But anyways, yeah, so Melody makes friends with both Tip and Dash after, both Tip and Dash, they were trying to help save a baby penguin from a shark, I mean, the baby penguin does survive, but, both Tip and Dash being clumsy and the penguins are not happy with them. Just, thinking that they can be the heroes, And that's when, yeah, Tip and Dash, they tag along with Melody to the Atlantic City and, to get King Triton's Triton. And by the way, because Ariel does inform her father about this, and that's when a pretty good moment in this film is where Ariel turns back into a mermaid, and with, a, reprise music score of, Ariel's song, Part of Your World, well, da-na-na, na-na-na, that, what she sings. That was a pretty good moment, yeah, just to see her transform into a mermaid, and you could tell, because after all these years, she had been a human, and to just transform back into a mermaid, yeah. And at one point, Ariel reunites with Flounder. Now Flounder's grown up, and he's now a dad. He's got a lot of fish kids. And, another thing is, where's the mother? Where's Flounder's wife? They never establish her, so we should be aware that, since he has kids and he's a father, he's got to have a fish wife. Well, we never see her, and as I said, never established. Not that I'm complaining, but still, So yeah, Flounder, tagging alongside with Ariel, helping her out, finding Melody, and yeah, and not only is Ariel, King Triton, Sebastian, and Flounder, they're there, at the Atlantic City, the palace, the kingdom, however you want to call it. Yeah, Melody, Tip, and Dash, they're there as well, and Melody at one point bumps into a cute mer boy. Yeah. Yeah, she finds him attractive, and even, like, Tip is saying, nothing to see here, move along, kids, and even the mer kids are surprised to see that a penguin, is there, since, penguins living, like, say, in the South Pole, so... and yeah, I think, yeah, that's where Morgana was hiding, like, somewhere in the South Pole, like, the Arctic location. Again, you get my point, so... So yeah, Melody does, take the Triton, and, well, she even at one point accidentally dropped the clamshell, that she found and discovered, the Atlantic City. And, yeah, even Ariel, King Triton, and Sebastian and Flounder discover it, and thus, Ariel does at one point see, Morgana's, two, rays, swimming by. They were keeping an eye on, Melody, that nobody would, notice her or anything like that, and thus, Ariel and Flounder follow them, and yeah, that's when Ariel, they find where Morgana has been hiding all this time, and even say Scuttle, randomly coming in, and Ariel tells Scuttle to, go inform the others, King Triton and Eric about this, and, even say, Flounder is we're doomed, but hey, Scuttle did help out in the first film, him and all the other, sea creatures attacking Ursula disguised as Vanessa, that whole scene. Yeah, so Scuttle can be very helpful, and thus he is, once again, in The Little Mermaid 2. And that's when Ariel and Melody, they reunite, and Melody is surprised to see Ariel that, is a mermaid, and same goes for Ariel. Seeing her daughter as a mermaid, and once again, Morgana lying and tricking Melody into giving her the Triton, which she does so, and thus, Morgana has control of the Triton, and yeah, can do whatever she wants with the Triton, and basically, pardon my French, all hell breaks loose. Yeah, what Morgana does, and even say Morgana, locks Melody and Flounder, keeping her shut in a, ice shield or whatever, and she has Ariel held hostage, Prince Eric and his men coming in, Morgana takes down Prince Eric's ship. We even hear a little bit of the Wilhelm scream. Yeah, we do. And, King Triton and his mermen, they do come in, and they try to take on Morgana, but Morgana with the Triton, she's so powerful, there's nothing that they could do. And, even say at one point, Tip and Dash, they do help out, break Melody out free, and even say when Melody lost her mer tail and she can't breathe underwater. And yeah, as I said, Tip and Dash saving Melody, and Melody taking on Morgana, getting the Triton from her, throwing it down to King Triton, and thus King Triton defeating Morgana for good, freezing her, basically. And I would like to point out, because, about Undertow, because, he was this, big shark, but then King Triton used his Triton and made Undertow very small, and Undertow had been complaining about that for a long time. He wanted to grow big as he was, and Morgana trying to make him grow big. And when Morgana got control of the Triton, she did so on Undertow. But of course, Undertow still got defeated, and so did Morgana's two stingrays. Sebastian took care of them. But yeah. So, all ends well, and, King Triton gives his granddaughter an option of either living the human way or the mermaid way. But Melody has another solution. They can all live together, the mer people and the humans, and thus they do, Melody, getting rid of that wall that was built around the palace, and, yeah, the epilogue was nice, and of course, Melody bumping into the cute merboy again, so yeah. Also, another thing, the songs in this movie, they're not bad. I don't hate them, but I can tell they're definitely not memorable. If Alan Menken was involved in this film, and if he had done the songs, then I'm sure that the songs, that if he had wrote them for The Little Mermaid 2, they would have been decent. I don't see why not. But yeah, I gotta say, The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, as I said, I don't think it's that bad. I'm sure as though that it tried its best, with a good story and with what was going on, the plot of this movie, it seemed like, it could work, but if it had been much better and what people would have thought of this movie, you get my point. But I have no doubt that there are those like myself that do enjoy this film. And how do I rate this? Good question. That is a good question. I'll give it, I'll give it 6 out of 10 stars. 6 out of 10 stars for The Little Mermaid 2. And what about you guys? What did you think of The Little Mermaid 2 itself? And what did you think of my review? Leave comments and give this review a like as always. So, with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. More reviews coming your way. They're gonna be awesome. Keep looking forward, and I'll see you guys in the next video/review. And stay tuned because, of course, continuing on the Little Mermaid week, yeah, you know what the next Little Mermaid film is. Because basically, this is a prequel, but it's about saving music. Yeah, stay tuned for that. Take care, and peace out.